What is up, you guys? Welcome back to part 2 of how to turn your photo into a TOON illustration and taking a beautiful photo like this and creating it into a cartoon version of that photo like this. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So go ahead and open up your PROCREATE app, choose the photo selection, and then choose the photo you're going to be working on. You're going to select your layers tab, and then you're going to hit add a layer and start with whatever layer you'd like to work on. I personally like to choose either the face or the hair to start on. I find that those are most easiest and they start right away looking like the character or the person that you're drawing. So then after that, you're going to go ahead and use your color picker, which is the little square to the left side of the screen, and pick up a color that is the shade of your face or your hair, whatever you think matches the tone the best to the actual photo. You're then going to take the little circle that picks up the color in the right hand corner, and you're going to go ahead and drag and fill, just the same as I'm doing with the face and the neck here. This type of work is really good for people who are just getting to know layers. And so for each different feature, so for the face, for the hair, for the t-shirt or dress, for the glass, anything that is something new or maybe a different color, I always choose to create a new layer. So now I'm going ahead, and since I see some of her hair is going over her face, I will then make the hair layer the top layer. So the face will fall underneath the hair layer and it looks more natural, as you can see here. And then when I see any gaps, just go ahead and fill those in and make sure you are on the selected layer that you are trying to edit. So if you fill in a little space with the face, you need to go ahead and make sure that the face layer is selected. Color pick up that exact face color that you have there, and then go ahead and just color in those gaps. One thing I found super helpful in creating these illustrations is not only adding the color of whatever you are illustrating, but also adding the darker elements of shadows or the lighter elements of highlights, and those really make an illustration pop. So if you are working on any of these, try practicing being able to recognize or see where the shadows and the highlights are, and making sure that those are filled in as you see me doing here. Here we're just going to go ahead and fill in the fingers and the arms, and sometimes depending on the original photo, I will add the details in a lighter or a darker color. It really depends, but as you can see here, I just added some of her moles on her arms. I then went ahead and I added a ring and some of the details on her fingers. This will go ahead and give, again, more dimension to the cartoon and make it look a little bit more realistic. One thing that I have noticed with these illustrations is sometimes when you're using the color grabber and you are trying to find a color for skin tone especially, these colors tend to be a little bit off, and you can always drag and drop or edit them. What I like to do is I like to pick up a color from the original photo so that I am trying to stay as true as possible to the person's skin tone. And then I will go ahead and open up the color palette there in the top right hand corner where the little circle of color is. And I will play around with it just in the surrounding areas of where the color already is and see if I can't find something that matches a little bit better. That you guys may find helpful is being able to make a wine glass look clear or see-through as it originally is. So what I do is I pick up a color from the original wine glass, and then I will outline it with a little bit of a darker color, and then I will go back in and I will toggle the opacity down. So to be able to do that, that is on the left side of the screen, and it is the bottom panel. So you'll just go ahead and take that and drag it down until you reach the opacity that you're happy with, and then go ahead and fill in that glass, and that's how you get things to look like they are clear. Lowering the opacity lets things be seen through it. So once I make her shirt or the top of her dress visible, it will then be able to be seen through the glass as if it is an actual wine glass. Like in part 1 that I showed you guys, I have chosen a colorful background. This helps with being able to see any missed gaps in your color work and making sure that everything is filled in the proper way. Great thing is already having the color, the skin tone, or the color that you're going to be using from creating the other hand or the other arm. You can then just go and use the color grabber and pick up that color and use it for the other hand, so you don't have to struggle with trying to match the colors. Struggle trying to figure out how to color drop, and it's fairly simple. I'll explain it. When you go to the left side and you grab your color picker, which is, like I had mentioned before, the little square in between the two toggle buttons, you will pick then a color from your actual original canvas. Once you lift your pen up after choosing that color, the color automatically is in your color wheel, and that'll be up in the right upper hand corner. The color is already chosen, so you can either draw freely with that or click on that color and modify it as you wish. And then you just hold your pen down on top of that color up in the corner and drag it. Don't lift your pen at all, and don't click it. You're going to go ahead and hold your pen down on the circle and drag it to whatever you're trying to fill on the canvas. So whether it's a fingernail like I did here or a hand, you just go ahead, drag it, and then once you have it in the location that you'd like to fill, you then lift your pen and it then drops the color. Here, adding the shadows to the upper part of her dress did give it some dimension, and actually looks like she has shadowing on it, and that it is a ruffled dress as it appears in the actual original photo. Something I've learned in making these illustrations and these TOON illustrations is when you're working on one layer, you should toggle off all of the other layers except for the original layer. And how you do that is you go into the layers tab and then basically click the check mark next to each layer that you're not working on, so that it unchecks itself, and then you are able to only see the original photo and the new layer that you're working on. and just adding all the shadowing and details that I need to the jean jacket for it to look a little bit more natural and a little bit more realistic as it is in the original photo. Right here I'm going to start doing the details of the couch that she's sitting on, and what I like to do sometimes is outline the shape of the couch or the object that I'm working on in either a darker or a lighter color, and then use the opposing color to color drop. So in this case I used a darker color to outline, and I'm going to use a slightly lighter color to fill in. And because I saw that this couch had little ridges in it and it was kind of a bumpy texture, I went ahead and I went along all the edges and made that bumpy texture. As you can see here, I have toggled off all other layers, and all I am focused on right now is what I'm working on, and that is making sure that I am giving it a realistic texture the way that it is in the original photo. So after I'm done adding all the details and everything that needs to be included in the frame of the couch, I'm then going to go ahead and look at the original photo, and I'm going to then start working on a second layer that is going to be underneath the frame, and that's when I'm going to start working on the cushions of the couch. So once I was satisfied with the way that the bottom cushion turned out, I then started to outline the pillow cushions, and something that you will notice, I am actually giving the pillow cushions their creases that they have in their original photo, and this gives again more dimension and more texture. And I had to pick a little bit of a darker color for the pillow fronts just to make sure that they didn't blend in exactly with the lower cushion. On the couch, I am now going to work on everything else that is behind or under her. So I'm going ahead and working on the background windows and the flooring. I originally was going to add some wooden texture to the flooring. As you can see, it kind of looks a little like a wooden pattern there. And Procreate comes with a wooden brush, but I found that it didn't work as easily as I thought it was going to, so I ended up just leaving the flooring the color that I chose for it, which is kind of like this gray green color, which I thought was really pretty. And then I just go ahead and I'm going to fill that all in. And for the background windows, you can also use the same technique with the opacity that I showed you for the wine glass. It is a little bit more difficult when it comes to bigger sections of something that is transparent, but if you have the time, by all means, go ahead and test that out. I was slowly starting to figure out that the wooden texture was just not going to work the way that I wanted it to. So I had to come to terms with the fact that even after testing it on different layers, it was just not working out for me. So I went ahead and deleted the layers that I had created and just left it as one solid layer. And again, filled it with that really, really pretty gray-green color. Once I feel that most is complete, I will then toggle off the original photo, and using a bright color replacement background, I will see if there are any missing gaps like there were here in her hair or anywhere else on the body. And this is the perfect time to go in and really take a fine-tooth comb to your illustration and fill in any missing gaps or make any edits that you need to make it look clean and crisp. I do have my JBL Flip 5 right next to me, and I am listening to my Coffee House Pandora playlist. So this video is not sponsored by JBL. I just ordered one of these off of Target and I absolutely loved it. I carry it with me all around the house when I'm illustrating or cleaning or doing anything I really need to do around the house. Music follows me and it keeps me in a good mood, and it makes it super relaxing when I'm doing my illustrations. So I just wanted to fill you guys all in and let you know that I will be leaving a link for the JBL, the one that I've purchased here, in the description box below in case any of you are interested. The coasters that are being used in this video are actually handcrafted by my husband and I. We have an Etsy shop called The Redwood Willow, and all of it is unfinished wood that we have created into different types of pieces, things like shelves and coasters. We've made benches and so forth. So I will leave the shop in the description box below, and hopefully I see some of you guys stop by and check out the things that we're making while we've been in quarantine. I struggled here a little bit with the amount of window I had in the background of the original photo, and I attempted to use the same trick as the glass wine with this window, but I was having some issues, so I ended up using a different technique that had kind of a similar look but not as crisp. Amazing tool that I think is awesome that comes in a lot of the iPad apps is the feature where you can tap with 2 fingers on the screen to undo any mistakes, and that comes in handy when you're doing these types of illustrations. Finishing it up with a couple clouds and a little sunbeam. And there you have it. That is your illustration, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions or any things that you haven't been able to figure out on your own iPad for Procreate. Leave those in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe before you leave for more videos, because I will be trying to post at least 2 times a week. And let me know if I can be of any help to any upcoming artists. I'm so excited to be able to help you guys, and I look forward to my next video. Thanks. Bye, guys.